light of that Brahman in each human being, the Atma. The Atman in each human being and the Brahman all-pervasive. These are the two main concepts upon which the whole structure of Vedanta and all subsequent Hinduism and other religions also have been influenced by it are based. Now the Atman is in every individual. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe tishtati. The Lord resides in the heart of all beings. And therefore, human beings are, in the Upanishads, called Amritasya Putra, children of immortality. They are not just sort of dust to be blown here and there. They are children of immortality because they encapsulate a spark of the divine. And because they encapsulate a spark of the divine, fanning that spark of the divine into the blazing fire of spiritual realization is the highest task of human beings. So you have the all-pervasive Brahman, you have the Atman in each individual. Then you have the philosophy and technology of joining the two. Joining, the word yoga comes from the same root as the English word to yoke, to join. Yoga is the technology and philosophy of joining the Atman and the Brahman. Or in Christian terms, God immanent and God transcendent. Or Insan or Allah, whatever name you want to put to it. But joining these two are what is known as yoga. And there are four main yogas in our tradition, which briefly are. The first is the Jnana Yoga, the way of wisdom, the way of the clarified intellect, by meditation, by reading, by thinking, so that you are able to comprehend the difference between the real and the unreal, Satya Sat Viveka. In the West it would be like the concept of Plato. Plato was the Jnana Yoga. You know, he has this parable of the cave. Plato says, we are all, as if we are sitting in a cave. All we can see are shadows thrown on the wall of the cave. We can neither see the objects, nor can we see the light that illuminates the objects. We only see the shadows. So the Jnana Yoga is the capacity to discriminate between the real and the unreal. And of course the Upanishads themselves are par excellence the Shastras of the Jnana Yoga. The second major part is the Bhakti Yoga. If the Jnana Yoga is the way of the mind, Bhakti Yoga is the way of the heart. The heart has to open in love and devotion and dedication to the divine. You cannot fly with one engine only. Only with the mind, then you get stuck in intellectualism. Only with the heart, then you get involved in over-sentimentalism. You have to balance the two. So the heart opening, the opening of the heart chakra is what is known as the Bhakti Yoga. And that is what all these prayers, every religion has it. In Christianity, you have St. Francis of Assisi, you have St. Teresa of Avila, and in India, of course, you have all the Bhaktas from the Alvars and the Nayanmars of South India, and the whole Bhakti movement, Sudas and Tulsidas and Mirabai and Shankar Deva and Jayanath. I mean, the whole Bhakti movement revolves around falling in love with the divine, opening your heart in surrender and devotion to the divine. It doesn't matter what the focus of devotion is. It can be Shiva, I am a Shiva worshipper myself, it can be Krishna, it can be Jesus Christ, it can be anything, anybody. But Bhakti Yoga requires, I think, a form. Jnana Yoga doesn't require a form. You can meditate on a flame. You don't have to have a form. But Bhakti Yoga, I think, involves a form. How can you fall in love with something that doesn't have a form? At least I find that impossible. So Bhakti Yoga is a very important and powerful methodology of joining. You have the Jnana Yoga, the way of the mind. You have the Bhakti Yoga, the way of the heart. You have the Karma Yoga, which is the way of the arms. Work. Kurvanebih karmani, viji vishet shadam samaha, evam tvayi nanyatetosti nakarma likhyatenare. Ishavasya Upanishad, in the second verse, tells us very clearly the importance of karma. And in the Gita particularly, the importance of karma is highlighted. So in the Karma Yoga, it means dedicating your works. Please notice what I am saying. Dedicating your works to the divine. Every work is not Karma Yoga. If you are murdering people or blowing them up or throwing them into gas chambers, that's not Karma Yoga. That may be karma, it's Kukarma Yoga. But karma Yoga is Sukarma Yoga. And the Gita has a beautiful verse that explains the Karma Yoga when it says, Yata pravritti bhutanam yen sarvamidam tadam sokarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindativa. That power pervades the universe. Ishavasamidam sabam. By worshipping that through one's work, sokarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindativa, man moves towards perfection. So Karma Yoga is a very important. That is the way, for example, the way of Martha rather than the way of Mary. The way of the Ramakrishna mission, the way of Mother Teresa, the way of working, helping the sick, healing the ones who are in pain, taking the light of education. That is Karma Yoga. But Karma Yoga has to be dedicated to the divine. I am a Shiva Bhakta, yat yat karma karon, tat tat akilam shambho davarad. Whatever I do, I try and dedicate to Lord Shiva, including this lecture. So you are all dedicated, by the way, you may or may not know it. So, the Karma Yoga, therefore, is the Jnana Yoga, the way of the mind, the Bhakti Yoga, the way of the heart, Karma Yoga, the way of the arms, and the fourth major way is Raj Yoga. That is the way, the royal road. That is the way of developing those psychic faculties that reside within the human body. It is believed that coiled 3.5 times around the base of the spine is a power known as the Kundalini, the serpent power. And under certain circumstances, it can be aroused and it can be encouraged to move up the spine. And as it moves up the spine, it energizes chakras in various parts until finally it floods into the Sahasradhara, the 1,000-petaled lotus. It's a very, very complex and deep philosophy. I'm just mentioning it here. Then even if you do not go to Kundalini, even the breathing practices, for example, they are part of the Raja Yoga. Simply breathing. You don't have to be a great yogi. And the Hatha Yoga, that in the West is known as by the term yoga, is only one small part of the Raja Yoga. So if you can stand on your heads, congratulations, it's good for you. But the capacity to stand on your head is not a condition precedent for enlightenment. So the Raja Yoga is the way to that, because within the human body itself, there are powers, there are capacities, there are possibilities that are undreamt of, and that our rishis were able, by their personal sadhana, to bring out. And we have certain texts. Each of these yogas have their own special texts. The Jnana Yoga has the Upanishads, the Bhakti Yoga has the Puranas, the Bhagavad Purana and all the Puranas and so on. The Karma Yoga has the Karma Kandas and the Raja Yoga have Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Yoga Chitta Vitti Nirodha. Yoga is stilling of the modifications of the mind. Now the mind is really the source both of bondage and of liberation. Mana eva manushyana bandhana moksha hetava.